All right. I think we are live. Let's get this thing going. And we are recording for another TopSoil podcast and TopSoil webinar. So, welcome everyone to this TopSoil webinar. I'm Mitch. I'm the founder and CEO here at Continuum Ag. Excited for this webinar to be able to share some of our partners and not just talk about 45Z and CI and some of our things that we talk about all day, every day, but being able to showcase some of our network and showcase some other companies that we've been working with that I think can bring opportunity for our network. Farmers are looking for solutions. I've been, of course, as a farmer myself, I'm always looking for different things that can help me out on my farm. And I've got some of these companies that we've been in alignment with through our events, different stuff out on our own, on my own farm, and just more things I think farmers should be aware of. So we wanted to bring you guys this webinar here today just to kind of highlight, our some of these initial partners that we're working with and some of our guys that we're in alignment with and want to share their stories, let them share some insights about their companies. It's going to be kind of fast paced, quick hitting here today. A lot of information to get through, and we got a hard stop at the top of the hour. So we will cruise through this here. But to set the stage here a little bit, Continuum Ag is a software company helping really focus on calculating farmers' carbon intensity scores, managing their data, helping put farmers in the driver's seat to calculate their carbon intensity and be able to participate in the upcoming 45Z program. But we're by farmers for farmers. Our background, our passion is in soil health. And I think you're going to hear that throughout the presentations here today as well with these companies that have seen what we've got going here. They want to support us, and we want to support them back as well. And that's really what this is all about here today. So, kind of a high level, we're going to go through each of these organizations one by one, have a little Q&A, let them share their stuff, and we kind of go from there. But um, who we've got with us today are the guys over at Fish Shit. They're one of the companies that I've seen out at a lot of different conferences and stuff, utilizing a new approach to simulating biology and providing fertility for the soil. F&M Savings Bank's a local bank that Greg and I have talked on and off for years, but they've got some new innovative solutions, I think, for farmers that are looking at equipment financing and getting access to equipment in a financial manner that is, I think, pretty creative and unique. So we'll dig into that. Hofer Ag, Quentin has been able to really see what we've got going here, I think, at Continuum and believes in the long-term mission, but also understands that there's a multitude of solutions that farmers need to go about their everyday farming. And he's got an array of different ag inputs that could be part of that solution for the farm as you are going about your soil health journey, pursuing the things that we've got going on here. Oaken Ag is helping on farm management, but on the farmer side, on the tenant side, helping you to do your reporting and connect with your landowners. So especially for farmers that are renting a lot of ground, trying to manage a lot of landlords, it can be a lot of work. And Oaken has really simplified that process. So we'll hear more from that later. And Dakota Bio, there are guys that are definitely not new to our network here and to the Topsoil podcast. We've been working with Dakota Bio for years, doing trials and stuff on our own farm, and they are, our first proven partner where we've actually, we got a lot of results of their products we've tried on our farm for a number of years with success. So excited to catch up with Steve here today and continue to drive that message from the biological side of things and just again being innovative on the farm. We'll have plenty of time for additional Q&A to toss them in the chat or use the Q&A function at any point. This is all just about kind of having a conversation here, highlighting some of these companies that I think are cool, that I think are interesting. And yeah, a lot of the stuff we're evaluating all of it, just kind of on our own farm and stuff here too. So everything that I've put together and everything I've done with Continuum, it's what are solutions that can help me on my family farm, and if they can help me, maybe they can help your farm as well. That's always been the approach. So without further ado, let's bring up Fish Shit here. We're gonna let each of these companies, just kind of give a pitch, give an overview of what the company does, and maybe a little Q&A back and forth from there. But David, appreciate you being on here
Sure.
today. And fire away. Tell us a little bit more about what you guys got going on.
Yeah, so I'm on the phone on the meeting today with my partner Tommy Fox. So Tommy's on as well. I don't know if we can pull him up.
Sure.
Uh, a little bit about ourselves. Tommy can speak for himself. I work here as a managing partner at Fish Head Farms, which is the name of our company. We produce the product Fish Shit, which we'll talk about a little bit more. And Tommy's one of the managing partners as well. But more importantly, Tommy is one of the founders. So I'm just going to turn it over to him for a second to let him introduce himself, and then we'll get into it.
Sweet.
Hey guys, excited to be here chatting with you today. I apologize the background noise. I'm actually at the Big Iron Show up here in North Dakota. So if you're hearing golf carts go by, that's what you're hearing. I apologize. So again, looking forward to getting to meeting all you folks at some point in time. And thank you for taking a few minutes to hear about our product today.
Love it.
All right. Thanks, Tommy. So, first of all, kind of what do? We make one product. We make the product Fish Shit. And Fish Shit is a unique product in the world. Nobody makes a product like this. It's a proprietary product to us. Other folks do obviously grind up fish or liquefy fish and utilize those as an NPK source with, around 100 microbes in those. That is not what we do. We have our own what we call a closed loop aquaculture system, how we manufacture our product. We have thousands and thousands of tilapia. We collect their manure. We process that manure over time with organic inputs. And whatever goes into our system eventually comes out in one of our bottles. That's why we call it a closed loop system. And what comes out in one of our bottles is the most robust biology available on the market. We have over 4,000 different and distinct species of microbes in our product. And those are alive inside. So when they go to, when a farmer uses our product and it goes into the dirt, it immediately goes to work. So everything we've done, and we'll talk about today, anyone can visit our website and see, but we have it all backed up with science, whether that's through third-party labs, university testings, or testing controlled trials on the farms. Our product is organic, but it works with organic or synthetic inputs. It's OMRI certified. It's also USDA Bio preferred. So, we've passed a lot of these litmus tests relative to the testing of our product. The USDA Bio preferred certification is one we're very proud of. We are a 95% carbon-based renewable product. So we're a clean organic product. We also have CDFA in California and CFIA in Canada. So all rigorous certifications to achieve. Our product, although it's organic, can work well with organic or synthetic inputs. We have the product is easy to store. It has a 2-year shelf life. It's ambient temperature. We've tested that storage, put it up on the shelf, and through microbial insights. We've worked with Rutgers University to show the mechanism of action of our product, how it goes inside the root zones, breaks down, nutrients as they come into the plant to make them more bioavailable to the plant, more effective and efficient for the plant to utilize. But also, we show under microscopy how we go outside of the root zone and help the plant attract the nutrients it needs when it needs them based on the life cycle of the plant and the environment it's in. We've done extensive testing with Rise Bio. We've worked hand in hand with Liz and Russell on different testing as well. And we've got some testing coming out now to look at, the potential for us as a crop reducer, right? In other words, an ability to do polymer degradation, which we've seen with Rise Bio on our metagenomic testing. And we're excited about what we've seen for the results to do that, and we should have those soon. We've completed a multi-state farm trial, again, with Liz and Russell and Rise Bio, where we've done metagenomic testing, sample tissue culture testing, Haney soil test, which shows how our product works in different environments. We have a pretty consistent output from that. We see that we increase yields, we increase NPK uptake, we help sequester carbon as well. So that very exciting multi-farm study that we've got, and it's out there, it's on our website, and people can see that as well. But at the end of the day, our product is an easy to store product, easy to handle for farmers. It mixes well with everything. It can be put in. There's no special application that's needed with NPKs, fulvics, humics, etc. We have plenty of experience with that, not only through testing, but just with farmers utilizing our product on a daily basis in their fields. We see, on average, around a 10 bushel increase, whether it's soy or corn. The multi-state farm trials showed that. A bunch of other trials we've done have shown that as well. We've worked with the Corn Warriors. Obviously, they've gotten some very good results as well, right around that 10 bushel increase on soy and corn, as we see all the time. Our product is applied in furrow at 10 ounces per acre. So it's highly concentrated. A little bit goes a long way, as the easiest way to say it. So easy to handle, easy to apply, easy to use with other products, no special application needed. Great results from testing through well-known folks in the field, as well as third-party labs, universities, and Rise Bio with metagenomic testing as well. How do we help farmers? Well, I think it's a few things, Mitchell. As you started off, talked about soil health. We clearly help with soil health. We help with yields. We help sequester carbon, and we can really help. We're testing right now also with the ability to help with pest, disease pressure in combination with other products. So we have no NPK. We are a straight biology. Again, over 4,000 different and distinct microbes in our product. And we're a highly aerobic product as well. So we help to transport nutrients, and we help to transport water throughout the rhizosphere. So we've got a lot going on in our jar because we do have such a broad spectrum of biology there. But at the end of the day, we make this product naturally. It's, again, organic. It's clean. It's green. It's safe for the environment. It's safe for farmers. It's safe for animals. It's safe for workers, etc. Easy to store, easy to use. So we're excited about the opportunities that we have ahead of us based on the continuing science that we're doing on the product and the results that we've seen so far. So kind of that's our story, and we're going to stick with it.
That's great. That's great.
But if Tommy's got something to add, I would love to get his input as well.
I'd say really good.
There we go. Sorry, guys. I was just trying to unmute. Yeah, Benny, great points there. I just wanted to kind of chime in there. I don't know if we had mentioned that we have a very low application rate. We're going down at around 10 ounces to the acre. And then also not just in furrow, but we can go 2 by 2, 2 by 2 by 2. We want to get that in the row or as close to planting as possible. We have folks that they use us with their fungicide and herbicide pass as well. So we're not limited to just in furrow. So just wanted to throw that out there as well. But short of that, I think you got everything, buddy.
All right, thanks. All right.
Awesome. That was going to be one of my questions. And we do have a trial going with you guys on our farm here for the first time this year. So I'm excited to see what we can find out, on our farm here too. So, okay, I'll save some of the rest of my questions for later. Let's buzz through everybody here. Awesome overview, David. I appreciate you guys' support and being on and being part of this here today. Greg, let's turn it over to you. Oh, or maybe we got both of you guys here. We got both of you labeled as Greg here today, which is gonna be fun. But next up, we got F&M Savings Bank. These guys, Greg, the real Greg is in the bottom there, at least on my screen in the bottom. But these guys are mostly here in Southeast Iowa, but the financial solution is available nationwide, and that's really what brought about this kind of partnership. On like, hey, could this be something that our farmers could use and need access to, especially for farmers that need some quick solutions for ag equipment and financing. So anyway, I don't want to Greg, you guys can explain it better than me. So I'll turn it over to you. You fire away.
Well, thanks, Mitchell, for putting this together. But yeah, that's the unique part of what we're doing with my partnership here. Actually, the other Greg is actually Tim Big. He's actually with Bankers Bank, and he's the one that can supply us as a unique partnership where we can actually do this financing for new and used equipment. Usually uses about 2018 or newer. But Tim allows us the aspect of being a partner with us. We can actually be nationwide. Now we do traditional ag lending ourselves. I've been in banking for about 20 years. So we can do traditional lending, but we have to stay within the confines of our trade area, which is Johnson County and all the surrounding counties in Iowa. Tim comes in with Bankers Bank and then allows us to have a more unique way we can structure 100% financing options and structure the payments, seasonal and so forth. gives a lot more flexibility that we can do with your ag clients that way. So it's a great partnership. And I'm going to hand it off a little bit here to Tim, and he can kind of further detail the program.
Sweet.
Yeah, thanks, Greg. Yeah, sorry, I piggybacked on Greg's invite. So my name is actually Tim Begg. I'm with Bankers Bank. We're a correspondent bank, and as Greg explained, we just enhance some of the offerings that our community bank partners can offer nationwide. One of which is what I manage, the equipment finance or leasing. Unique products. We do a lot of used equipment finance, which is often hard to come by. We do ag structure finance, and it's unique that we only hold the building as the asset. We don't get any other receivables. We don't ask for any additional land pledges. So we just look at the building as an asset. You can do that. We set it up as a tax structure, so that's an expensable item on your taxes. So you can put usually 7-year fixed is what we'll go out to, write that out. There's no prepayment penalties. So if later on things change, we're not going to penalize you for it. We only work with community banks. We're in about 6 states that we have offices in the upper Midwest, but we work nationwide. So anything unique, we've done everything from, big combines down to field tile. When a guy's in a pinch, we'll finance that. So get a hold of Greg. Let us know if there's something we can help out with. The one thing I've seen a lot lately is guys have jumped into some heavy equipment expenditures and things have changed and they need some capital back. We actually do what we call lease buyback. So we'll buy that equipment back from you, send you the capital, to use as you want and put you on a 7-year term. So it's a nice flexible product that lets you, move the way you need to. Let me know if there's any questions later.
What brought this about for me is, everyone, it's no secret that the ag economy is not great right now, right? Corn price is not good. Things are going to be really tight. So I think, by just making sure that farmers are aware of different options that are out there, especially when it comes to equipment and some of those expenditures, or the lease buyback stuff, some of these things, I'm not super familiar. A lot of this stuff is very new to me, right? But I think it's important for farmers to realize there's maybe some creative options out there that utilize your operating line and stuff, or for farmers that are here in Southeast Iowa, may be able to bank with guys like Greg Direct, but utilize your local bank for your normal operating line. But hey, if you need additional equipment or free up some more cash, there may be options out there that we didn't realize. And it's not just for farmers either, right? It could be basically
Right. Yep.
any type of equipment.
Yeah.
Correct.
And as long as you're a business entity, that's basically the first caveat to that. So we've had some individual people that want to get like a four-wheeler and stuff like that. It really has to be underneath a business entity, which most our ag clients are structured that way. So it can't be for personal use; it has to be for a business entity per se, on that to take advantage of those programs.
Yeah, interesting. Excited to get if anyone's got questions and stuff, hop in. We'll get to a Q&A kind of panel stuff here later. And Diana is putting in the chat some more info about each of these entities as we go through. And I'll give everyone a screenshot here later as well of where you can go to find more info about all of our partners on here today. But guys, thanks for being on. Yeah, I think it's an interesting, different approach, and especially as farmers are in tight situations. I think this can be a good alternative solution for them that I've been interested in just continuing to learn about on where could it apply for farms like mine, and again, just making sure the farmers know that there's different options out there. So that's really what this is all about. But anyway, thanks guys. Let's keep cycling through here and let's go over to our buddy Quentin at Hofer Ag. Quentin hopped on our Topsoil Summit here this year. We've been talking a lot with him ever since. But Quentin, let me turn things over to you. Unmute yourself here and tell us more about what you got going on at Hofer Ag.
Thank you, Mr. Horan. I'm Quentin Hofer. I'm a native of South Dakota. That's where I'm currently at, Rapid City, South Dakota. I attended school at South Dakota State University, and that's an ag school. It's actually a miniature Iowa State. And I graduated with a journalism degree. So I entered sales in Sioux Falls, South Dakota for 10 years. Then I was transferred to Cedar Rapids, Iowa, where I was for 35 years. And now I'm back in Rapid City, South Dakota. During my selling career, I've sold a lot of things, and I come to learn of a product that was too good to pass on. And what amazed me was who it came from. I've never heard of Amway selling agricultural products. I always heard of the other side of their business, their MLM. So I got to digging into this thing, and Amway has two products that are significant. They're absolutely amazing. But yet Amway only focuses maybe 1/10 of their budget on agricultural. So I'm going out there and I'm promoting their two products. And I actually talked to a guy from agricultural in South Dakota, the head agricultural guy. He's never heard of them. Why hasn't he heard of these amazing products? Amway has a 180-day unconditional satisfaction guarantee. They don't like it. We're going to get your money back. They've done multiple testing. They test every year at a third party in Yuma, Colorado. It's owned by farmers, ran by farmers. So they do rigorous testing on these products. They've done a lot of testing at Colorado State University on these products. Most recently, a study done on potato growers where the most significant thing was where 4.28 inches of water was saved per acre. So I'm looking at these products and I'm going, boy, this is really interesting. Now I'm thinking, I got to start engaging with someone that could help me to the marketplace. And that's where I heard of Continuum Ag. I started looking at what they're doing, what they're offering to farmers, that 45Z, the Amway products, they indirectly will benefit 45Z in reducing that carbon intensity score. Boy, I've got a win here. I think the stars are aligned with Continuum Ag, and I'm excited to move forward with them. What we bring to the farmers is number one, the number one beneficiary of our products is who gets that? The crop. Number two is the farmer. So we have a product called APSA 80. It's an adjuvant, it's a spray, and it goes onto the ground and it goes penetrates into the ground and it works against compaction. It helps runoff to avoid runoff. So now all these other inputs that farmers use are going to work better. And you might use less inputs potentially. But the big thing is it's going to eliminate water because it's going to sink into the ground. And that's their flagship product. And that's where I'm promoting. And that's where I think this 45Z and this APSA 80, which is an adjuvant, can really benefit the farmers. And so I'm excited to be part of this. They also have a product called NutriPlants. It's an enhancer. It provides micronutrients and other essential crops, different stages along the way to help that crop to be stronger, help it to grow, help higher yields. So Amway has developed their own product in-house. It's been on the market since 1980. And it's kind of a hidden jewel. But it's, for me, working with a company like Continuum Ag, I want to blow it up. So I'm excited. I love to hear these other guys are talking. They're very professional. They're very polished. I'm sorry I'm not as polished as you guys are, but it's very exciting. Again, I'm glad to be part of those partners that you have, Mr. Horrell, and I want to learn more, and I'm going after it, and I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
No, I love that. And it's, the reason for doing all this stuff, right? Again, is we feel like we've got a lot of farmers in our network, a lot of folks that are following along with this 45Z thing. Obviously, I'm really excited about it. A lot of other folks are excited about it, but also like it's one thing. There's a lot of other solutions out there, and obviously we're hearing already a wide array of different companies, different solutions that shoot, I didn't know about until recently. In a lot of these, cases are just there's just so many new things coming about all the time where it's like, hey, we guys should be at least aware, taking a look at stuff, trying new things. I don't know. I mean, I think it's all about finding those connections and figuring out what's going to work for individual farmers. So yeah, back, here later on with some more questions and stuff because definitely got a couple. But let's keep kind of chugging through, teeing everybody up. We'll go over to Oaken here next. These guys actually we've got some connections through some of the venture capital groups that we're both so kind of some uniques to that. But anyway, Ron, let me turn it over to you. Explain a little bit more about what Oaken has going on with you guys' software.
Yeah, so hey, thanks for having us, Mitch. It really means a lot to us, and thanks to all the panelists that are on here with the different companies and the growers and ag advisors and whoever else is on this call and this webinar today. It's great to be with you. So, like Mitch said, I grew up in eastern Iowa, southeast Iowa, right real close to where Mitch's farm's at, and didn't know that at the time until we met each other down the road a ways. But I'm I've spent 31 years in ag business, and been a small part of some technologies over the years and a much larger part of other technologies over the years that have helped growers. And now I am head of the business development for Oaken. And you're probably saying, well, what is that, right? What is Oaken? Well, there's one thing, whether you're a grower on this call or you're a panelist on this call, even working at a bank, that's pretty much ties us all together here in the Midwest. And that's the land. The land itself ties us all together. It provides us the resources not only that we need, but as a grower, the growers that are on this call, it provides everything from the meals on the table to financing new equipment, right? And being able to finance new equipment. And what Oaken is doing is it is a revolutionary land management technology that focuses just on that, just on the land that growers manage. And so, what was intriguing about this company when I found it and having learned so much from growers over the 31-year period, um, I saw what Oaken was doing with this technology and kind of knew that there's a big change going on in agriculture. I call it an undisclosed disruptor or untalked about disruptor. And this is the 18 million acres that are changing hands in agriculture every year for the next 20 plus years. That's a real problem. That's a real problem for our growers. And having, if you look at from a USDA standpoint, that's a USDA number, that 18 million. If you look at how much leasing goes on, leasing is an easier entry point for growers to be able to expand their operation, scale their operation. And so, half to three-quarters of land that growers are on are leasing, right? Well, that's great and all. And, the traditional way was sitting around the kitchen table or, going out to dinner with the landowners and having that conversation and negotiating the leases and, doing all the paperwork and keeping them abreast by stopping in, visiting with them or bringing them to the farm and visiting with them. Well, those days are changing, right? The land ownership now is going from one to two individuals that grower worked with to now three, four, five, six, you name it, right? And those growers now, or those landowners are now all over the globe, and they still want to be connected to the land that the grower is working on. And that's where our technology just completely shines and completely helps. Every one of us on here that are partners and everyone on here on this call, including Consortium, we want to do one thing. We want to have a product that makes growers' lives easier, right? Puts more money in their pocket and makes their operations more efficient. At Oaken, our technology does that. It allows growers to manage those leases and all the complexities of those. And so our system, you put leases into the system and it'll remind you when the leases are due. It'll help you with the expenses. It'll help you make the payments, but it also will help you on the percentages. So if Mitch gets 10% and Quentin gets 25% and Steve gets, the remainder. We help break out all of those payments as well to those landowners. And this is a real pinch point for growers. And Oaken, that's how Oaken got started. Oaken got started at Purdue University. Another great ag school besides South Dakota State and Iowa State and all those others. And they go out to industry and say, what do you need help with? Or what do you see 3, 5, 10 years down the road as being a disruptor? And this came out of that, this land issue and the management issue. And so our team developed this platform that helps you with with this technology to help manage the leases, the payments, and the relationships. Land is transitioning from, heartstrings and there's still that emotional attachment to land, but it's moving more into an investment, right? And actually part of a financial portfolio for a family. It always has been, but now it really truly is transitioning when you're talking 3, 4, 5, 6 different landowners. Well, our technology also allows you to create an asset financial land experience for those growers or for those landowners. The grower can create, in essence, a 401k experience for those landowners and wherever they may be, Maine, Florida, Spain, wherever they are, and they can log into Oaken's system and see what that grower is doing. Everything with all the leases, with all the payments, with all the expenses, depending on the lease type. And we can consume all the different lease types, by the way, and the bonuses and all the calculations. And also to include tiling projects, conservation projects, ethanol, the Z project, whatever they're doing on that farm, they can put it into the system and the landowners can access it from anywhere at any time of the day. So what does that mean? That means in essence, the grower is creating that round the table or that small intimate experience that they had with the previous landowners. Now they're able to do that. And what's that mean? They get a hold onto the land. They get maybe potentially, manage more land if those individuals buy more land, as an investment, right? 80 acres in Iowa is what, about $1 million, right? So we're talking a pretty significant investment. And so our tech, and no one else is doing this in the industry. There's no other platform out there. We don't negotiate leases. We don't do any of that. It is a true operating platform for growers to use to make those 3 things.
Yeah.
Make their lives easier, make it more efficient, and it does help save a heck of a lot of money and time, right? And so, we're excited to be a part of this. And if you want more information, I know Mitch is going to put it up there, but you can reach out to me at ron@oaken.ag, or we can book a demo on our site, which is oaken.ag, and you can book a demo there. Be happy to talk, listen, and learn about what you got going on in your operation, and see if Oaken can help you. Yep.
Thanks, Ron. Thanks, Ron. No, I think it's cool. We'll get our buddy Steve popped up here. I think Oaken's cool that there's lots of companies that represent the landowners in this conversation of leasing and whatnot, but as far as I'm aware, Oaken's the only one representing the farmers, right? And I think as I think about how has my family farm got to expand, or just so many of the farmers in our network, as we're looking to expand, as there's going to be fewer and fewer farmers that got to manage more.
Yep.
I think it's a kind of a foregone conclusion in my mind that there's going to be more and more need.
Yeah, it digitizes the whole process for the landowners. I mean, think about that taking, if you need to take leases into your insurance agent, your financial agent, wherever that is, or, you got to send information to the FSA office, you can do that all now through Oaken. It just simplifies the whole process for, instead of having to, I would visualize taking in 6 stacks of files to your, to whatever agency you're working with. Now you just take your computer in, because we're cloud-based, go in there, here's everything we have from a financial standpoint. The bank guys love this kind of thing. They can see the whole operation, what you're paying, how many acres you're leasing, all that. It's phenomenal. And I get excited, as you can tell, talking about this technology, having been in an industry where I, had a lot of technologies. It's just exciting to talk to growers about this. And again, the need is there. it's just
Yeah.
nice to be able to help them. And that's what we want to do here at Oaken is just help you be successful and scale your operation. So again, thanks for the
I
time today.
appreciate that, Ron. I appreciate
Yeah.
that. Steve, let's pull you up and take us home here on this portion. I'm excited to get into some more Q&A. And I think what's cool too is just, I mean, man, I'm thinking that just even the cross-referencing of just the group of us talking here, like that's what I think is cool. Just about like, man, how Continuum is always only does stuff directly with the farmers, and then trying to, you know, there's just so much more that I think we could kind of help with as connectors and whatnot. But obviously, yeah, one of the groups we've been connected with for a long time is our buddies over at Dakota Bio, our first and only proven partner. And really wanted to highlight, we've been doing trials together, Steve, for 3, 4 years at least on our farm, and
I think
been involved in some of the other testing and stuff, even outside of our farm too. Been able to really see this stuff works or something to it, right? And excited to just highlight that more. Historically, Continuum did trials and stuff was a huge part of the company when I started it. About half of my business was consulting with farmers, about half the business was doing like contracted research and trials. But that data, that research, the companies always owned their own data. We never like published it and shared any of it. Well, now for the first time, we are taking some of this data, putting it out there, sharing our results. The company still owns it. In this case, Dakota Bio still owns that data, but you can see some of those results and actually be able to highlight not, hey, here's what we're seeing on our own farm. All these things, my take is always still Steve, right? And you talk about it too. You got to try it for yourself. And that's same with all these different things that we're talking about here. You got to try it yourself. But step one is being aware and then figure out what's going to work best for you. But Steve, without further ado, take it away. Tell us a little bit about, Dakota Bio for folks that are not aware of it, and we go from there.
Well, first off, thanks, Mitchell, for having me and spotlighting Dakota Bio. We're just really proud and thankful to get this chance to talk to you and your audience. But yeah, I think we started testing with you back in 2020. I think
Probably.
it was. And over all the years, we've worked with, I think, 20 different independent research farms from North Dakota to Kansas to Ohio. And that's where when you see Dakota Bio data, it's all independent, replicated, managed research farms like that. We don't take data from our farm or so forth. But anyways, thank you. And thanks for that introduction. So my name is Steve Visted. I'm one of the co-founders and owners of Dakota Bio. My main role with Dakota Bio is leading the sales team. So I love working with the sales team and the products. Very, very proud of our products. They're exciting. They're fun, at least to a biological dork kind of like myself. I just love that kind of stuff. But what Dakota Bio does is we develop and produce and sell products that deliver nutrients, manage stress, enhance nutrients, residue management products, but it's all focused around biologicals. So to sum it up, we have nitrogen fixation products, phosphorus solubilization products, potassium products, micronutrient enhancement products. The stress mitigation product we're working with, Frenzy, is patent pending. That's actually a metabolite made from a bacteria. So it's just a lot of really fun, exciting products. And as you said, you've seen them work, and we make all of our yield data and results public with thousands of data points. And it's like you can't win them all because it's farming and things happen, but every one of our products is about an 85% win rate all the way up to a 95% win rate. But we have a lot of products that are really focused on solving specific problems. And what our thought process and what it looks like going forward is really, it's about helping these farmers reduce their inputs because of the economic situation, 2025, 2026, and hopefully not much longer than that. But we sit down with growers and dealers across the country and help them understand which soil types, which crops. Can you reduce the nitrogen, add a nitrogen fixer, for example, like Phenom that we produce, to where your cost per acre of production goes down, but then your nitrogen supply increases, your yields increase, and then we do that with phosphorus and potassium and stress. And so we really focus on how do we help these farmers reduce their inputs, but increase their yields, increase their revenue and profits on their farm.
And of course, from our side, it's that improves the CI score, right? And that's where this all ties together,
Exactly.
right? And what
That's
brought
where
about, that's what brought about a lot of this stuff, right? As we were thinking about, gosh, what do we do next, and how do we keep this going? Well, some of these things and the tools that we're highlighting here today, improving fertilizer management, improving yields, that's going to drive improvement to your CI score. And uh, it all kind of comes full circle.
it does. In full disclosure, full honesty, back in 2019 when we started Dakota Bio, we didn't know about CI score.
No,
We
no.
thought this just made sense and it works.
That's
And so let's take it to the world. And then as CI score developed, it's like, wow, this is a great fit. This is
Yeah.
this is what it's for.
Yeah. It just it's the holistic big picture kind of thing. And yeah, I mean, so many of these things, Steve, the biological space, it's a crowded space, right? And there's I think everyone's aware of these kind of things. And like I said, I've tried a ton of products that on our own farm. And some of the times we see amazing consistent results. Sometimes like, well, maybe there's something there, but just we didn't get a result. But anyway, I think it's important for farmers to continue to experiment in this space, figure out what's going to work best for your operation, figure out how do you optimize your fertility inputs, continue to drive consistent and growing yield outcomes. Hopefully there's a CI carrot and a payment for doing so, but also, of course, it's just controlling what you can control, and that's agronomy. And that's what all of this boils down to is I don't know what's going to happen for certain with 45Z and CI. It looks really good, but I still don't know until it's done. But what I do know is sound agronomy and good business fundamentals, those are here to stay. And that's the other key piece of all this, right? Continuum has gotten into the software stuff and doing CI, but really at the end of the day, it all boils down to how to drive profitability back to the farm, control what we can control. That's what this is about, right? So important to keep in mind there, and it's always continue to try, right? And try new stuff and experiment. And we've had a lot of fun doing that, I think, Steve.
Like you said, it's a very crowded space. There are companies appearing every day and disappearing in this biological space every day. But it's really what we focus on is the proven products with the very high quality fermentation. But it's a lot about learning. We don't know everything yet. Nobody does, but we do know our crops need NPK and all the microbes and how to manage stress. So it's how do we bring those technologies and products to the farmer? But no farmer should feel bad about being confused in this cloudy space, but we're ready to help every day.
Yeah, that's right. So, okay, we're going to turn to our panel and stuff, but let me see if I can share the screen first. I probably should have done this earlier, but just for everybody's awareness, we've got all these preferred partners on our website. So if you go to continuum.ag, you can click on this partners button and it'll take you to these our proven partners on here. So, and you can go into each of these and go in and get more info. So like on Steve's stuff we were just talking, you can go in here, get connected with these partners, see more of the info. We got some of that research data and stuff on here as well. And all we're doing here is it's a simple form. This is free to anybody. And so you hit a form where it's like, hey, I want to learn more. We're not the experts. We are not dealers for these guys. We are just, hey, these are companies that are in our network that we're connected with. And we want to be able to drive connections back to them. So it's just simply filling out a little form, but you can go in here and learn about all of these different companies. and get connected. That's what this is about. Trying to be simple to connect, our network. And we'll see how it continues to shape up. But yeah, for anyone that wants to learn more, continuum.ag/partners is where you go and we get you connected. But okay, let's Diana or Alex maybe help me out. I don't know if we've got to just maybe not spotlight anybody and just have our group all come back on here and let's kind of take things home. And you guys can we can just have conversation back and forth. But anybody that's watching, if you've got questions, feel free to fire away here. But let me go back actually to the beginning. David, a question that I had, this is kind of a random one, but your product being derived from fish, and you're talking about the tilapia. Is that you guys' tilapia and you guys like own those fish and you guys are like growing fish and selling fish too? Like, and now we also are able to utilize a product? Tell us a
Great,
little,
great
just
question.
kind of a
So,
random question, but
it's,
maybe other people are wondering about it too.
that's a great question. So we have thousands and thousands of tilapia. We collect their waste, and I went through the process that we utilize to make our product. We're not fish farmers. We don't sell fish. We're not into that business. You kind of think of them as our little manufacturing workers, right? So we just want healthy fish in a healthy ecosystem. So we collect their manure, and then we process that over time with our other inputs. And eventually, everything, as I said before, we have a closed loop aquaculture system that goes into the system, comes out alive in one of our bottles.
Greg, we've talked a bunch on here about just kind of the ag economy at large. Can you just kind of speak to that just a little bit on what do you talk about with your farmers and just maybe your hot take and response just on kind of what you've seen here today with the array of different things we've got going on from a guy looking at farmers' balance sheets all day every day.
Oh, just a couple of ag clients we talked to. They've been talking about one Jim I talked to about how the weather's been in certain areas. Some places has just been just perfect, but they said, you don't go too far away. There's some places a little stress. Overall, though, we think the yield is going to be excellent. We've been hearing that the crops look really, really good this year. They do watch the market though with the bushel, how much corn's going at right now. So there is a little bit of a nervous about that. That's yearly that how that trends there. I think some of the generational farmers we kind of see is how the technology is changing and the efficiencies now, how you grow crops has changed. Is more come to the front now what people are doing with the new technologies with that. And I think that's kind of listen to them as there might be some need with maybe some different type of equipment that we could help out with that. And that's where we bring Tim in with that. And we think there's some opportunities as this evolves more. Listen to the other guests on here too. It's kind of interesting how the whole thing is trying to make it efficient and get some better yields with what you have with your land and these products and services that everyone else is bringing up here. So that's quite interesting too to try to get the best bang for the buck. It's amazing how some of the bushels that can be taken out of a lot out of ag land now that wasn't probably capable to do 20 years ago. And I think that's just the involvement of technologies and efficiencies and stuff. And something that Mitchell you bring to the table about how to get the best bang for the buck that way with a lot of things. So interesting.
Well, it's kind of what Steve and I were just talking on, right? The balancing these new carrots and outcome kind of things, but it does boil back to sound agronomy at the end of the day and doing what's right. We're running businesses here. I think that's important. But Ron, one of the things that I'm seeing around my neck of the woods and hearing about, and you mentioned 18 million acres, but seems like there is a lot of ground that's going to be changing hands, and especially with 390 corn or whatever we're at right now, like it's tough. Are you seeing anything on that, a hot take or any additional insights on how you're approaching or how you think some of the farmers that are watching here today, how should they be approaching this like trend?
Yeah, I mean, if you think about, what's really honestly, what's on the market right now, there's just not a lot of inventory. I'm at one of the platforms. We have two platforms. We have one that was designed by growers through Purdue University. And then we also have another platform that's designed by professional farm management, the farm management industry, because they do a lot with leasing and relationships and all of those. So there's some similarities there, but the inventory isn't, so I get a lot of conversations on the farm management side with folks and, people that I have pretty good relationships with. And so there's just not a lot of inventory out there right now. Right. And you're right. Commodity prices may shift, but I also don't see land prices, although rents have come down a little, but I don't see land prices coming down hardly, significantly. They have to stay up just because they need to be able to do a lot to add a little horsepower to be able to finance things and those sort of things. So I don't really see a lot there. One of the things that I do see with our platform to kind of build on what Greg was talking about, in technologies, we also, this is also a nice tool to put into a place. If you don't have a lot of leases, it's probably, we find that, farms that are around that 10, it's pretty manageable. 15 is pretty manageable. They start to get up to 20. They need a little help, right? And we have a, kind of our basic platform that's really easy entry. But what we also are discovering is two things. One is the new generations that are coming in to take over their farms. They're not going to want digitized. They want everything on, to be able to access it on their phones and look at it. And so this technology also allows for that, right? They're not having to go through a 3-ring binder that's a foot thick to try to figure out where the paperwork's at. They can just type into our system what leases, who's managing, who are my contacts. All that information is into Oaken. So it helps on a transition side to know and step right in and kind of hit the ground running, as I say. So our technology allows for that. And we're also discovering new spaces that need this technology as well, to include ag producers, trusts, at banks. You just kind of keep going. We're mainly focused in on growers and professional farm managers, but we're expanding into the seed industry now and all these different spaces. So it's really exciting. And yeah, to your land, I just don't, the inventory is not there, and I don't see it changing, and I don't see the pricing going down on land to be able to purchase it. So people are going to keep, remember I said 80 million acres or 80 acres in Iowa is roughly $1 million. They're going to keep it, right? Somebody's going to keep it.
Yeah, no, it's definitely going to continue to be interesting, and
Yeah.
so like young guys trying to figure out how to navigate, it's something
Yep.
I think a lot about. But Quentin, super specific kind of question, but key one. With your adjuvant, with your crop enhancer, how does that get applied? Are you like, is that being added to the spray mix and stuff, and going on foliar, or where do you see if guys are wanting to try your stuff, where does it plug into their operation?
It goes on the foliar. It goes on to spray on the truck. We're very good at blending
Yeah.
with other inputs and stuff. So that's the key right there. Then this equals out. It'll sink down into the ground.
Okay. Got it. So think about it, especially in the spring, is that kind of the key?
It's yes. I'm obviously Midwest, South Dakota, Iowa, but I'm in a position where I can talk to anybody. And I've been talking to the Georgia peanut growers, and their soil is a lot different.
Yeah.
And so this adjuvant is something that they'll take out, Mr. Hora, and spray it, and it will go into the ground through those soily, sandy type of environments and get down into the ground. And they're very interested in Continuum Ag because of they want to have data.
Yeah.
They're not looking so much for 45Z. They're looking for like the value. Okay, our land is valuable. We don't have any documentation to really show it. So I haven't been in this business like you guys have. You
Yeah.
guys, I look at this screen right here, I see like 100 years of expertise. I've only been doing this thing for like a couple of years, so I've learned so much just in this last hour.
Yeah.
So to
It's
answer your
again back to the
question,
holistic. I think it's back to the
yeah,
holistic piece, right? I was talking about, right, Quentin? And
yeah,
I'm thinking of it as coupling the cover crops, the manure, the rest of a farmer's program, but also being able to make sure that, hey, that there's tools out there that you could utilize to address specific problems and whatnot as well, especially from a soil health perspective, from a yield perspective. it all really comes full circle. Steve, take us home here. I got a couple other things I want to share, but we are getting up on time. Steve, you've seen speaking of Quentin's point of being around this the longest, you've seen it the longest. You take us home on uh, where do you see this going, from here?
Well, if this is it, it's definitely an interesting time. When times are challenging, that's when companies like these really start to rise and take
Mm,
advantage because of, like you said, comes back to value.
yeah.
But I don't know that I've been around the longest. I still think of myself as a kid. I've been doing this for 25 years and farming before that. So maybe I am one of the old guys now, and I just wow.
I think they call that wise, Steve.
I hope so, but some days I question. But yeah, it's really a prime time to be making wise decisions on the
Yeah.
farm and really identifying your problems and identifying the people and the companies and the products that can bring you information.
Yeah.
And that's what we focus on, and that's what Continuum Ag does too.
Yeah. When I'm just saying, it could be very interesting in ag in the coming months and years of some of the headlines here, even recently, pushback against some of the big ag companies and the current ag economy and just stimulus checks and bailouts. It's not the right solution. And there could be some major overhaul of ag. And that's where I think there is opportunity for a lot of, us here as the local guys that actually understand ag. We're from these communities. And I think there may be opportunity there. But anyway, we'll see how it all keeps shaping up. Anyway, all right, let me take things home so we can try to keep on time here. Let me share this. Okay, so hopefully everyone has enjoyed this. Another thing, just right along these lines that we're really watching closely, we want to make sure everyone's aware of is these R&D tax credits. So, and I think even for you guys, on here too, something you should absolutely be thinking about, and absolutely every one of your farmers who is trying your stuff, they're triggering research and development, and there's tax credits where they can categorize their cropping expenses as research and development and earn additional tax credit for it. So contact our guys if you want more info about this. But if you're trying any new products, whether it be biologicals or any new additives, new fertilizer stuff, cover crops, any of these things, new hybrids, new varieties, all of this can trigger as research and development. And there's tax credits that are out there. And just for this upcoming tax filing, you can actually look back to 2022 and go backwards and get your R&D credits over the last multiple years. That's a big, beautiful bill component. And for any farm that is, especially if it's 500 acres or more, you have got to take a look at this. We are seeing tremendous success. So talk to our guys. And of course, if you don't have your CI score, uh, you need to know what your CI score is. You can get it for free at topsoil.ag. And more ongoing stuff, to come here. We're continuing to push out this information, CI chit chats every Tuesday. We'll get more webinars and stuff coming up, but also knowing that it's time to go and harvest. So as always, be safe out there. Take care of yourself. Hopefully you got some new ideas here today and maybe some different tools that, I'm looking at always new things all the time of what could we be trying on our farm? What are ways that we can be more profitable? And I think we've highlighted a lot of that here today as well, that there's solutions out there. Hopefully you've been made aware of some new stuff that we're monitoring that I think can help your operation. And if so, we'd love to connect you. Again, visit continuum.ag/partners or hit up anyone here at Continuum. We're happy to get you connected. But let's see, anything else? Um, I think we are good to go. So you guys, thank you so much for your support, for your networking, for joining us here today. With that, we will call her quits. Because I got a long drive ahead of me. But anyway,
Thank you.
appreciate you guys. Appreciate everyone being on. Have a good day. We'll
Thank
talk
you.
to you soon.
Thank
Thank
you.
See ya.